Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Dig.
Used to have one of those, and the thing just the back part kind of broke off, so I couldn't hang it up. So I'm like, ugh.
Welcome to the Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. I am excited about this podcast tonight because this filmmaker is hot in St. Louis. Bruce Carlton Cunningham Jr. is here, folks. Woo! We got Morgan Pierce here as well. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show. We were talking earlier. We're friends with Brian. Was Brian in your film?
Brian Davis,
yeah.
He wasn't in the film. He did, he was producer on it. Let me use the space, so that was big. So, but definitely involved.
He's a good guy. I actually like him.
Yeah. He's real good.
I want to show, before we start talking about the film, I want to show to the audience this film. Now, the premiere is this next weekend, the 25th, at the Galleria. It's going to be all weekend long. Here is Unresolved, the official trailer.
When is Daddy coming?
Every day I just see it getting weaker. I can't handle that.
It's okay. We tried. You're the best mama ever, and I love you the most.
Since you out, what's your plan?
My girls, man.
Trying to get back to the daddy thing, huh?
I'm telling you, don't come back.
Those two patients were in a worse critical condition than your daughter.
My daughter was #1 on that list. My mom's, she crying every day. I can't be around that shit, man. I be having a dip.
You stay strong for your people. If I could do anything to have my big brother back, I would.
Look at you. Got half of St. Louis scared to even look at you wrong.
So who is this chick?
I see you got the game on lock.
Oh, she's still running now, huh?
Yeah, in a major way.
God will come through. Watch.
Everybody always telling me how I gotta live. Turn the keys and drive. Everybody just need to shut the hell up.
You headed down the road you have no idea the mess you're gonna get yourself into.
Turn your ass around.
If I had to bet all my money, I will say that heifer's behind this. In 15 seconds, I'm gonna pull this trigger.
Shoot, don't let that crap you listen to fool you. Ain't no fun sitting up in no prison cell.
And in 17 seconds, you gonna cry like a little...
She is vicious.
What we gonna do, Tremaine? And in 30 seconds, the man standing behind you is going to shoot you.
Bang.
Now, do you understand the severity of your situation?
Time to pop that cherry.
I thought you was done with all the streets and stuff anyway.
If you take one out, you take them all out.
Beautiful. Wow. That's some real shit right there.
Wow. Now, not only are you acting in the film, you're directing, you wrote it, as well as editing. Now, people kind of always dismiss the editors, but be a great editor. Right? That's a great trailer right there. That's did you edit the trailer?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of skill. As an editor as well, I have mad respect for the editing skill, and looks like a great film. I'm excited to see it. It's going to be next weekend. I've read a little bit about your bio. Now, you made a kind of do a feature in St. Louis is a big deal. I mean, a lot of people don't do that, so that's just for that. But you start with a short film in 2007. Do you kind of want to talk about how it kind of rolled into making this feature film?
Oh yeah, at this church I was going to, that I used to go to, they were having a youth conference, and I was doing shorts prior to them. We come up with a concept and we do these type of shorts and whatnot. But in this particular one, I had this idea in my head. Now it wasn't called Unresolved; it didn't have a title to it, but the concept was sort of the same, the conflict in it. So we did the short. My partner, shout out to Steve Short, he was the cameraman. I trained him, and so we did the short. And so they liked it. A year passed, another youth conference. hey, let's do the sequel to what we did. You know, okay, cool. So we got him again. At this time, my daughter was just 1 at the time.
Okay.
When I did the first one, she was like on her way out the womb, you know. And so a year later, she's just a baby. Right. And my goddaughter, shout out to Divine Truth, she was in it this time. And so it was this revenge. So we shot the short.
Right.
And they liked it. And then, you know, after that, you know, life took its toll on me. You know, I had to, you know, address life. You know, I was married at the time. My daughter was growing up. So it's like, you know, got to do that, work. All that stuff like that. So
it's still a good process, though.
Yeah. So I had it. It was always in the back of my mind. You know, that creative mind. It just sits there. You don't ever forget it.
What made you want to come back and revisit this story? Obviously, as a filmmaker, you probably have so many ideas, so many different stories in your head. Why did you want to come back and kind of push this story even further and make it even a longer kind of version?
Well, in 2014, you know, things changed. You know, that time from 2008 to 2014, the time had changed. My life had changed. You know, I'm not married anymore. I'm single. My daughter's a little older, and I'm at this point of life. Whereas, you know, I like the job that I have. Well, no, I didn't. I'm in that. You know, that space, that creative. Well, I need to do something more because, you know, this can't be the end, and then that creative wouldn't die. It just kept, you know, I kept getting these recurring dreams, thoughts, you know, hey, let's do this again. You know, shout out to my partner, David Kirkman. I know y'all heard of him. You know, he put the post out, is anybody in St. Louis serious about doing film? And I answered this post, and I was, you know, rocking with him on the things he was doing. And, you know, he was a great filmmaker. So, you know, you hang around people that's doing something, you're going to get inspired. So I'm like, okay, I got this thing I did back in 2007, 2008. It's 2014. Let's do it again. So I tried, but, you know, I failed I failed.
Well, that's life, though. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you never pick it back up, especially for the years that you've been doing your stuff. And with this right here, like, that, I'm pretty sure it took like months and years just to make that a complete project.
Well, the toughest thing is when you're going to do a feature film, it's just not a commitment for yourself. It's going to be a commitment with the people you're working with. So you gotta get the right team. So I'm going to pull you into this conversation. How did you get involved with the film?
So I was working at the place that he actually held the auditions.
Okay.
Yeah. So a couple of years before I started working at that place, I was in a place in my life where I wasn't liking where I was, and I knew that I had like dreams of being somewhere else. And like as a kid, I think we all used to just like want to be on TV and, you know, be behind the screen, you know what I'm saying? And so, and then just growing up, people, like, actually it wasn't even when I was growing up as a young adult. It wasn't until I started hearing like, oh, you should model, or you should, you know, you should act, or you'd be funny. And I never took it to heart. But I always felt like, you know, it is something that I wanted to do. So when I saw the audition flyer, I just thought, I was like, I feel like this is maybe my opportunity, you know, to get involved in, you know, this project or a project. So and I went to go interview.
And so you never acted before this film? Or?
So it's like your debut.
This is like
here.
my debut feature film. Wow. Like I've done like smaller projects, like, you know, just helping friends out. Yeah. But like this is like my first full length feature film.
So look at that, just out the door.
I
like,
know,
hey,
right?
I'm in the movie.
Like, right? Yeah, for
literally.
real, seriously. So I mean, I couldn't have been like happier, like with the opportunity. It was amazing.
So kind of like when you decided to set forth and do this feature film, I mean, you had to have the right crew, kind of like talk about the mindset, you know, for other filmmakers watching out there, of like, if you're going to do a big project like this, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I was like, you know, after the 2014 for, you know, I go back to the drawing board and I write it as a feature now. Then it got its name Unresolved. So, but I'm gonna go forth and do this, and you know, I got the script. Let's go. I had the auditions at Harris Stolness when she came. As a matter of fact, you know, didn't nobody audition for her role.
I don't think that's the first time I'm hearing that.
So first audition in film.
Yeah, nobody auditioned for a role because I was looking for this a woman, an actress who looks like could be an 18-year-old, play this 18-year-old, and she shows up, the only person in audition, and I'm like, bam,
go for it.
And she was good in the audition, and so it was like, but it was this leap of faith. Let's do it to go out to make this movie. Now I didn't have any equipment like that. So, but I'm like, we gonna do this. We gonna do this. We gonna find a way to do it. So, but we had the auditions at Harris Stowe. A couple weeks later, I made the callbacks, and I went into, pre-production, getting everything right and whatnot, and, shout out to, Tomo and Rab Frentress and that crew, because knowing him from David's sets, they were like, hey, man, we got equipment, what's up? We ain't gonna charge you, let's do it. So major shout out to them.
Wow.
Yeah. And so June 10, 2017 was the first day of filming, and she was there. Yeah, it was 12-hour day. It was some of her scenes.
That's
so
a
this
lot.
film, for people out there who don't realize, it's like a 6-year process of going through to make a feature film.
Seven,
yeah.
For Bruce, for Bruce. Now you talking about, we talking about, coming up with the, writing the script, and up until now distributing to the theaters, you know what I'm saying? 7.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But to actually make the film, I think it was like 4. From the day we started production to the last day I edited, what needed to be edited. And so it was like a 4-year process.
Yeah, well, you had to deal with COVID and everything there too, right? So
yeah, it was like that.
That put everybody on
the curse.
Yeah.
Because, the curse was, people were dying, and that wasn't a good thing. I don't wish death on anybody. So that was kind of like, the bad part about it. The blessing was, they shut everything down. So all you had to do was you had to be at home all the time.
Yeah.
So when you at home as an editor, that's like music to your ears, because I got to be at home all the time.
Right.
All the time. Oh yeah. All day, all night editing, especially when you trying to do VFX and keyframing.
Yeah.
You need all the time in the world, so it's kind of like, you up all night, but ain't nowhere to go. Everything shut down.
That's just cramming time these days.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
I took advantage of the situation. So.
I remember when the lockdown happened, I was all excited. I'm gonna get so much work done, and then all of a sudden I started watching that damn Tiger King guy on.
Oh, you got interested in that?
I didn't do shit.
I was making my own videos at the time.
Yeah.
But man, that's just crazy. I mean, yeah, it hit everybody, and I get it. But we had to do. But I was gonna say it earlier. So for Morgan, like having that only audition for that role, I mean, you would think for a lot of people, hey, a movie or a show or a music video, like everyone wants to be on camera, they want to be in the film. So like, I find it crazy that not a lot of other people would just go ahead and just audition, period, get the chances. So, I mean, again, congratulations on that one.
Thank you. I think this is the first time I'm hearing that nobody else auditioned for the role. So
he should have said that 150 people tried out, but you were the one.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she was
still,
good. I mean, she spit a rap for me because, I could, there were others that didn't make it to the audition that I casted because I knew that skill set, or I had a private audition because it was like, I think you good for this role, so I could have, but I like what she brought to the table. It was for her. I like what she brought to the table, and and she spit a little rap for me, and I was like, all right, cool. She had the look. Her hair was tied up in this bun. Yeah. She, this is 2017, so this is like we were younger.
I was like 24, 25.
So she, it was just like, okay, bam. It's like she looks that age. Right. She, and then she looked like she can do the lines. Why not? It's just like it's right there. Sometimes you just got to take it when it's given right there. So we did it. Boom.
Most of the cast are. It seems like from what I see, is some of your friends are involved though too, right? So it's a mixture of filmmakers and or actors from St. Louis and friends, right?
Yeah, everybody's from St. Louis. She's from East St. Louis.
Yes, yes. Let's make that very clear. Illinois.
What's good? What's good, East Side?
But it's still St. Louis.
Yes.
Right.
East St. Louis, West St. Louis.
I'm the only one. Let's just make that clear. I'm the only one from Illinois.
Wow,
that's
cool.
So, yeah.
So
What was some of the toughest scenes? It seems like, do you storyboard your stuff when you shoot it? It seems very visual with the way the camera tells the story.
Nah, not me. I tried. I tried to storyboard. You know, I tried to do it and stick figure it. I'm like, nah, it ain't work for me. I'm a shot sheet type dude.
Okay.
So, you know, I guess the time got away from me, and I just, you know, I probably had, you know, maybe in the future I might do a storyboard, but it was basically shot sheets for me, you know, and. Because even though I had these shot sheets, and I did the shot sheets just make sure I didn't forget certain shots that was probably needed.
Right.
And, you know, because you do the shot sheets, then you get on set, everything on kind of like jail according to the shot sheet, the majority of it.
Right.
But then sometimes a whole new idea might just spark right here. You go with that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it depends, but that's like my default. I got a foundation in my left pocket, but then we get on set. Hey, if this works better, we're gonna go with this.
I think we've done that before, like for certain.
Yeah.
things.
Well, sometimes you get to the location and what you think is not going to work because of the lighting or something, so you guys switch it up. I mean, there's always factors at play and do it.
We have a lot of bloopers.
We do. We do. Well, that's one thing I noticed too about the trailer is I've seen a lot of St. Louis films, and sometimes it's like I don't know how to say this nicely. Some of the acting is over the top. You know, it seems like the acting, especially in the trailer, is very good. It's like very subtle. It's like you're watching some professionals,
like very prepared.
You know what I'm saying? Like Netflix kind of quality kind of stuff. That's why I was really impressed with your trailer. How did you get kind of the actors in that spot? I mean, how do you as a director kind of set your actors on the right course?
Because it's like, you know, my thing is, and I told her is, I read the script, you get the concept of what I'm trying to do, right? All right, now I need you to make it your own. I need you to embody this character. And while we on set, you know, we had about two table reads and whatnot. You know, we ain't got time to have rehearsal like they do in plays.
Right.
So I need you to do your homework when you on your own time, because, you know, I'm preparing too as an actor too, and I'm directing and, you know, doing all this stuff like that. But I need you to embody this character. I'm gonna give you Elizabeth's character who plays the antagonist in the film. I told her I want a mixture between I want a mixture between Griselda Blanca and Harlan Quinn.
Ooh,
okay.
So I need a mixture like that, because, you know, now a lot of people audition for her role.
Yeah, I was going for the main cast.
The main cast.
Yeah.
And I actually had a vision of how I wanted this character to be, you know. And when she came in and did it, was like this. I'm like, dang, she hit it. So after the callbacks, I met with her. I told her what I needed the character to be, had that mixture, and they did it. Even with her, I think we was in on the Delmar Loop. You and with George, and we were before we got something to eat, we were on the parking lot. You know, what's that restaurant? Fitz's.
Fitz's.
Oh, wow.
By Fitz's.
Yeah,
that's a good place.
And so I was telling her how I wanted this to be. I wanted raw and organic, and we went over a scene that we did in the film and whatnot. I think I pushed her in that chest with the, you know, because that's a thing and whatnot. But I wanted her to be, you know, she plays my daughter, my oldest daughter, and so I needed that father-daughter relationship. And so when we actually get on scene, you know, everybody did their homework for the most part.
Method acting.
Everybody did it.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, you know, at first it was kind of like, you know, I don't want to cuss too much. And so, but then, you know, when they were in the car, that scene, her and George, because her and George did their homework. They came up with a handshake. They came up with their own handshake. And I ain't saying that. I'm just like, you know, when you
keep it rolling,
something, you know, and it look good, ass to it, I'm like, oh yeah, you feel good on the inside. So that was like me, you know. They had their handshake and whatnot, and they was like best friends.
That was beautiful.
They played best friends, and you know, the language they was using, I was like, you know, so I'm like, let me shut up, let me see how this flow, and it was just flowing. You know, with those two characters and whatnot and whoever. So I left everybody alone and let them do what they needed to do. Now, if I had a thing where I pull you to the side, can you do this for me? But for the most part, everybody, you know, brought their A game. And so I didn't have to do more coaches. My thing was, you know, you embody the character, you get the gist, put your own spin on it, put your thing on it. You know, I let you know if I need this specifically said.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they did their thing. And as editors, when you in the editor suite, 2:37 in the morning,
Boy.
the scene is good. The actors brought it. Oh man, you kind of get a hard
definitely got a
on,
good
you
scene.
you feel good. It feels good. Oh, this gonna be a good movie.
Well, it's good because it makes it easier on your job because there's a lot of different options you can go to if you have all good performances. You don't have to. Yeah.
Now here's a question for all you guys. So like for method acting, like you said, we have a certain character and you want to be like, you want to be this, you want to be that. Like, what do you have to really think about when you go do that character? Like, is that like just something just out the book, or you just got to really think hard and just go with it?
For me, you want to answer first?
Well, for me, like with the role, I actually used to rap. So like I had a rap duo when I was in like middle school and like early high school. And I'm like a huge fan of music. Like I had like some early bouts with like production, but again, that was like when I was like really young, but it never died. The love never died. So again, when I saw this film possibility or this film role and auditioned for that role, and the fact that she used to rap and some of the things that she was going through with her father, I mean, it was very much like correlating with my own life. You know what I mean? So only actress who auditioned, I mean, it just felt for me, and so I brought me to the character because she was me. Like he wrote this role for me. So in a way, so.
You said in your audition you did a rap. Kind of put you on the spot.
For real? You gonna make me rap?
Well, I can have Keenan go first.
We say you got your talent. You got to show it off.
Keenan does freestyle too. And,
to a degree, yeah.
To a degree. So if you want Keenan to go first, he could.
I mean, I can rap the rap that I rapped when I auditioned.
Sure, let's hear it.
So. Hypnotic is bionic, non-toxic to make you hook like phonics. Mix it with some mice, have niggas acting so ironic. My style, don't mock it. Got my fofo, don't make me cock it. Insane for me, saint, don't make me pull that shit up out my pocket. Your clock is tick-tocking, so nigga get to walking. Your lips just locking, ain't got no time for all that talking. All these players is watching me, trying to see if I'm gon' slip. Don't trip, cause what I gotta make all you haters flip quick. In the nick of time, I come in bumping, always saving the day. Fuck a backer, bitches, superwoman, stunting on you lames. They talk the same shit on different days, when all you gonna see? They with us is no contest and pimp, so go and let us be.
Wow.
Damn.
You probably don't want to go after that one.
Yeah, good, I probably lost.
Well, think of something freestyle, Keenan. We'll do it at the very end of the show about Unresolved. So you put it all together and then do something.
I don't think at all, but okay.
Well, one of the things I really liked what you said in an interview is because you're showcasing St. Louis, but you were talking about not showing the arch, and I think a lot of times everybody always, when they do something in St. Louis, they have to get a shot of the arch or whatever. And you showed stuff because we're talking about Fritz's and Delmar. You showed places where you grew up at. So kind of talk about the locations that you decided to showcase in this film.
Oh yeah, I got some shots of the arch.
Oh, you did? Okay,
I got some shots of the arch.
Yeah.
Just
but not as much.
Not from our perspective of where we see the arch.
Gotcha.
Now everybody films from the arch from the east side with the river in the foreground.
Right. Okay.
But you got to have permission to do all that. That's what I found out. Because I went over to the east side to try to get that because it looks good cinematically.
Yeah.
But they prevent you from doing it over. You got to get permission. So I was like, wow. Matter of fact, the drone even go in the air by the arch.
Oh, really?
It won't even take off.
Wow.
No.
Oh, wow.
It will not take off. I'd been had that. Wow. It will not take off.
That's crazy.
There's no fly zone.
That's crazy.
You have to have permission to get shots.
I mean, that's
over
understandable.
There. And so, Highway 70, close to Broadway, your drone ain't gonna take off. It ain't taking off over there. You got certain no-fly zones. Now, Market, you take off on Market, and so that's where I did. So I had, it was like, certain places. In the JBL, we filmed a lot in the JBL. Shout out to the JBL.
Yeah.
We filmed a lot in the JBL. The drone went up and went right back down.
That's crazy.
That ain't going on. And you know why it's, in the JBL, why your drone ain't taking off over there because of that government facility they built.
Oh, okay.
Man, that's
Wow.
they control the airspace. So
wow, even
but
the GPS systems they do.
but you know, as far as other than the drone, we filmed a lot in the JBL. You know, filmed a lot over there. And you know, on the next street over, you know, you can hear the gunshots.
Wow.
we were shooting.
While we filming, you know.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it was hot over there. It's hot over there.
Now, I filmed a movie back in the day, and we were doing a fight scene, and all of a sudden, like 8 cop cars pulled up. Now, with some of the scenes that you guys did in the films, that you have issues with, like people being like, "What's going on over here?" Because sometimes people don't see the camera, and they think some crazy shit's going down.
That made good scenery, though.
Yeah, well, we filmed in we filmed one time in the we filmed several times in the Central West End. And
That's a good place.
The police wasn't really tripping. Some of the residents, hey, y'all making a movie? That's what that was. It wasn't like, you know. So in North County, I went to the police station and let them know we were filming a drive-by scene. I was like, all right, let them know. So if they got calls on this particular street. And so, because, you know, in the trailer, the young lady leaning out, shout out to Lanaya
Shotgun,
J.
yeah.
Now, they shotgun AK-47.
Oh, was that the okay?
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
She leaning out with the chopper. And so she so I'm letting them know what's going on. So they're like, thanks for letting us know. And so in case residents call, they filming a movie over there. But North County, U City, filmed a lot in U City. Shout out to U City. We filmed a little bit on Fallon Park. Shout out to Fallon Park. North City. Kings Highway, the crossing.
Oh, definitely Kings Highway.
So, Kings Highway is just memorable. So, But a lot of this North City, North County, U City, where we filmed it, as opposed to the films that were filmed here in St. Louis, you don't see those sides. You see downtown. You might see some of Central West End or South side, the hill or whatnot.
Just kind of know the areas.
Yeah, it's recognizable a little bit, but when you talk about north of Delmar, when you talk about Kings Highway and Natural Bridge, when you talking about where we grew up at, where it resonates, I didn't see a lot of that.
Right.
And so we got to have that in there because our families grew up here. We grew up here. Our memories are here. So we need to see that.
Yeah.
So I made it a point to put it in there.
Okay.
So I mean, like, for all the years I've been here, like, born and raised, like, there's a lot of places I've been through around St. Louis, whether it be north or south, but like, I know there's like certain areas that I have not been to yet, or kind of like, but I can kind of be like, okay, I know that building, I know that streetway, I know that part. So you definitely pick like the good spots because, like I said before, like, yeah, the St. Louis Arch, I mean, yeah, we know St. Louis, but do you have to put that in like every scene? No, but you still they get the gist of the whereabouts.
Yeah. So my thing, film no arch from our side, from the west, and looking that way with the city in the foreground.
Gotcha.
Versus the river, because there's two sides to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So this is our side, and we had I just wanted to make sure we got enough scenery in here because there are from an architecture standpoint, a lot of good architecture, cinematic architecture.
Oh, definitely.
Well, it seems like the city is almost a character in the movie itself too, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of why I got it from the trailer.
Yeah, because back in the day when they did that movie, Kurt Russell. They filmed
about from New York. What was it?
From LA, something about LA. Something, but it take place in a apocalyptic time.
Right.
Yeah.
But they filmed it here. That some of the scenes here.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Battle for New York, I think.
Yeah. What was some of the toughest scene for both of you? What was the toughest scene to get through for you personally? Like of all the scenes in the movie, what's like the toughest scene that you had to maybe that you had to find that right acting that you had to do getting that character? Something that the locations didn't work out, or it was a big scene and you had to deal with a lot of things going on all at once. What was some of the things? What was like?
Happens to a lot of us.
It was two of them. The first one being I had to sing with my daughter. My daughter, she was in the movie too.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's an emotional scene. And the first time we filmed it, I didn't like it. I didn't like, the lighting and all that. I didn't like it. So we did it a second time. And we did like 3 takes, and I couldn't get the emotions, I couldn't get the tears, or whatnot, and, you know. And so we did it a 4th time. But before we did it a 4th time, you know, I started talking to my daughter about how proud we are because I wanted her in the film, because, you know, daddy-daughter bond type stuff. So I was like, giving her, you know, you about to start school, and I started getting emotional for real. And then shout out to Willie May, who was doing the audio. He turned towards the window because, you know, he has children and grandchildren himself, so he's a father, so he understands. And Stephen Shore was the cameraman, and, you know, it's emotional. I'm crying, my daughter's crying, and then after I gave her the kudos, we had that heart to heart. Let's do the scene. And so we did the scene. That was challenging because when you're directing and trying to act, you know, you ain't got no emotions. But that's how I got that done. And the second one was the first time we was doing the end scene. And this is the scene that I almost quit. This film.
Ooh.
I almost quit. The end scene downtown, I had it all mapped out. She was there. It didn't work. Oh, man, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for me as the filmmaker, as the visionary. Everybody probably seemed like having fun. She got an attitude at the end of the day. I was like, oh my God, you know, I was like, this ain't working.
Okay.
Yeah, she had to leave. It wasn't working out right. It did not work out. No, that was downtown. Remember September 2017, we tried to do the end scene. We were downtown in the alley. And, you know, that did not work. I was just like, we up to like, we didn't wrap till like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was just like, you know, and it wasn't, if it wasn't for Elizabeth telling me, because after you left, everybody left, she, you know, she encouraged me to keep going, I'd have quit. But
oh dang,
that's movie
crazy.
business, man.
Because you know you want everything.
Yeah,
you want everything to go good. I just put a post out about that today. You want everything to go good, but it just didn't go good. So I was just like, you know, I was very discouraged.
Yeah,
you know, I got a lot riding on it, and so you know, but we actually reshot that somewhere else, and it worked out better.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. The scene for me that was probably the hardest was the actual end scene that we ended up shooting.
So I can't wait to see this now.
It was in a downtown warehouse, and I had to get like very physical. Like I was getting shot and stuff, so I had to like fall against walls and fall on the floor. And I had to run like in the middle of the night. Like it was cold outside, so like it was like very
stunts.
like, you know, stunts, right? Like almost like, I think it was one scene where I'm getting out of the car and I'm shooting, and like I'm running backwards, and I like almost like trip over the sidewalk, and like I think he actually kept that scene. He was like, it's good, it's natural. I'm like, I just almost lost my face, but held it up. But yeah, like, so that was probably the most like difficult / physical scene. But when you guys see it, like you will see like what came out of it, and like for like no stunt doubles, you know what I mean? Nothing like that.
Have you seen the rough cut of it? Have you? Oh, okay.
She's seen the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've
seen it several times.
I'm very proud of it. Obviously, it looks like in your face.
Yeah, I think the first time that I saw it before he edited it, because everybody was wondering, like, when is it coming out? Like, because I'm telling people and they're asking me, and of course the cast wants to know. And when he showed me, I was like, if this is what's going to come out, you take your time. I was like, if this is what you're doing, and this is what this movie is going to look like, I don't even want it. Like, you take your time, you good. You know what I'm saying? Because I see why it took what it did. Like from just when he was showing me scenes where, the scene he mentioned where young Marcia is out the car, you know, shooting a gun. Excuse me, from the scenes, from the bullets not showing to the bullets, like the FX or whatever. I'm like, damn, like, that's like legit. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look funky. It doesn't look like, you know, it's just like
Sharknado.
layered. You know what I'm saying? Right? Sharknado. It doesn't.
Those are good movies, damn it.
The best worst movie ever is what they call it.
Right.
But yeah, so like for me, you know, like I mean, I was just super impressed, and like when he talks about just like seamlessly the cast, like on set there was hardly ever in exterior like friction. You know what I'm saying? Like most scenes, everybody showed up. We did have to reschedule a couple of times, but like it was never like, well, I don't like that, and she doing this, and this is and that. It was like always just everybody coming together for the love of like filmmaking. So I really appreciated being a part of that group, because y'all know it can go all wrong. You know
Everybody
what
lets
I'm
me
saying?
part of something too.
You know what I mean?
It gets that way.
You know what I'm saying?
You forgot about the insane, the bloopers, because she had these green glasses that she had. She, for continuity purpose, she has to keep these green glasses because that's what she had on the first day.
Yeah.
And so she had it. And then we talking about over a year and a half of filming.
Well,
you had to bring
like
it back.
3-4 different glasses, like
Yeah.
pair of glasses.
Yeah.
But the green glasses.
But the green glasses, because it was a scene, it was it was physical. And,
getting beat up.
And the other character, shout out to Armani, the glasses on the ground. And I should have just picked them up because they weren't even in frame. But I didn't pick the glasses up, and I'm behind Steve while he's filming the scene. She's on the ground and whatnot, and Armani steps back, and he has these boots on, and I heard this crunch.
I'm like,
look. And then, we still, in the tape, and, she... because she can't see what I
wow.
And I'm looking and I put my head in Steve back like, oh my God.
I think we have
damn it, boy.
Because it was like, I don't know how she gonna react to the glasses. This not the time for this snafu because we need, to get the other scenes we needed.
Right.
And he was like, it was like we had to pause for a moment. It was a blooper. I think I got that one. Because she was like, and I was just like, and we had to tape it. And it worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but I gave her the money to replace the glasses. But it was like, because we still need them. And then, it was her glasses. But it was just like, oh, dang.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I just, you learn certain things. Take it out the frame. Take the glasses. Just pick them up. If they ain't in the frame, just pick them up. Ain't nobody gonna see them anyway.
Right.
And I was just like, but that worked. And we had
Push come to shove.
Right.
We had other things that happened.
Yeah.
They, what I'm saying, they had, delayed production too. So it was like that, that was compared to the other stuff, that was minor. But still, it's the women's glasses. And we don't even break it in the middle of a scene because we, continuity purpose. So we, had to obscure the tape on the side because it broke off, off the frame.
Just movie magic, y'all. Movie magic.
Well, it seems like you learned a lot just going through this kind of journey. It seems like maybe even saying you kind of grown as a person just going through this experience. Can you say something about that? Just of what you've learned? 6 years to make this film. You made a lot of friends. You became a different person.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, shoot. It's like definitely a different person. You ain't gonna be the same person starting off. Starting off you be one way, but then as the process, you continue to do the process and allow, trust the process, as everybody says. Yeah, things are gonna change. You're gonna change. Your circle's gonna change. That comes with the territory. People are gonna, leave. Some permanently, when we talking about, some people are going to pass away too. Family members pass away, and, that's close to you. So it kind of, that breaks your heart, but you got to keep going, tears in eye. You got to add it with tears in your eyes and whatnot. Relationships end, friendships end, new ones begin. You become a different person. You learn how to be resourceful as a filmmaker because when you ain't got the funds like that, like the Hollywood gods do, you learn to be resourceful. If I could have paid that, I would. But I'm an editor, so you save money there. And then you learn different skills and whatnot. You learn, what's important and what's not. Because as you get older, life doesn't stop. You get older, you learn to say no. You learn what I'm going to put up with and what I'm not. One of my uncles, shout out to him, God bless his soul, but he told me this. When you wake up in the morning, you pick and choose how much bull you going to take off somebody.
Ooh.
Don't nobody else decide that but you.
That's right.
And, he told me that. And over the years, as I got older and then doing this process, you're right. Because this is stressful enough trying to get this done. You ain't coming in my life with that bull.
Especially for all the years too. Doing
you just like you learn, and then you learn how not to react to certain things. You learn, I gotta be quiet.
Yeah,
but you're gonna react to something regardless. You just don't want to try to overreact on that problem.
Yeah, So, but it makes you a better person, and you learn, even mistakes. You ain't perfect. You make mistakes, but you learn to, let me correct them. I may not have said that right. I may not have did that right. My apologies. I was wrong. And you learn to get rid of your own toxic traits, because everybody else ain't the problem. Sometimes you the problem, but you need to take that look in the mirror. Maybe I did that. That was me. I screwed that up. Let me check me. Let me sit me down and let me work on me. Because maybe you were the problem. That person ain't you the problem. You don't realize it, but the way you talk to people ain't cool. Yeah. The way you do things ain't cool. The way you go about doing this ain't cool. Check yourself too. And so we
kind of gone through that a lot.
I think that's a great thing what you said. How about yourself? Have you felt you've learned and grown? I mean, first time acting. Have you been acting anything else since this film, or is this something you want to pursue?
Yeah, I just want to be a creator overall. Like I would love to be involved in more acting, but I'm currently building my own personal brand, Morgan Pierce. I want it to develop into like a lifestyle brand, and then I have a more current t-shirt company that I'm working on. Visibly High.
I was going to ask about that t-shirt.
Visibly High.
I always like those type of t-shirts too.
And you can get that online, that shirt?
Not yet, but soon.
I think I want to buy one of those.
Yeah, me too. I got to get mine.
Awesome. Thank you. So
looks like delicious cereal. Yeah.
Thank you. I love delicious cereal.
I love the cereal. You gotta love breakfast.
Thank you. Yeah. So it's so this is the logo for it, but it's a company. It's going to be a food themed. Like accessory companies, so it's gonna play off like I have my own original quotes, but like stuff from like Superbad, like good shit, right, Maroki, when he like got tiramisu, you know what I mean. So just food references from like different things.
What's the one I like that you told me?
I don't know. Is it like Blacks Only Pies? Or it was like pipe
that
it.
one too. Yeah. Well, I was like,
It's when it says pipe it and it has like icing coming out of a piping bag, and he likes
subliminal.
That
Yeah,
type stuff. So that's kind of what it's like. But definitely, I will let you know.
Okay,
but,
so you can come back. You can come back on with the talk about the clothing.
Thank you.
So big premiere is this Friday. Right, it's at the Galleria, then MX Movies and Bar on August 31st. If you can't make it this upcoming weekend, you can see it there. I guess other ideas is. I guarantee you can probably get this on Prime and other streaming platforms. Is that what the next step is once this?
Yeah, we're looking at what the options are.
Yeah,
but first wanted to do it for St. Louis.
Right.
Give a chance to go out to the theater and get it. COVID messed a lot of stuff up when it came to the industry and what it was.
Yeah.
Streaming.
I'm actually surprised theaters are still around. I thought they would.
Yeah. So it's kind of like COVID messed everything up.
Only if you closed down.
So. Yeah, we doing that. You said something earlier before the interview started about the movie Legend and whatnot.
Yeah, so I want to kind of talk about your inspiration, because I found that you're talking about 80s films and all the 80s films. There's so many great 80s films, but the one that you talked about is Legend, which I think Legends is a great film. But I've seen a couple of interviews that you've talked about twice. So what was it about that movie that like made an impact on you? Because I think my movie would be like Pulp Fiction, which is pretty much like everybody's.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah.
Legend was the one of the ones that got me into filmmaking. It came out in 1984. It was Ridley Scott's, now, which Legend version you talking about. Because they came out with another version. We talking about the score. Because the one they did with the Tangerine Dream is the one I'm referencing.
Okay.
Because I like that score. It came, HBO at that time was run, we had cable.
Right.
And HBO had that movie. It came out and I was like, because I love fantasy movies.
Yeah.
And it was just good. I like the score. I like the story, and so I would watch it over and over and over and over again. And, I like how he put it together. I didn't see any makings of it, but, I was young, very young at the time. So, but I like how, it made me feel, and I like how it made me escape, because I wouldn't come outside. I would come outside later, because I'll be inside watching TV all the time, and I'm watching movies. And this is my escape. This is my fantasy. This is what helps me to escape life as a kid.
Yeah.
And I watched that one, and I watched The Last Dragon too. That was one of mine that really those two caught my eyes, and it was just
definitely a good movie.
Very good. Glow. So and I had other ones. I was a big Schwarzenegger fan, Commando, Raw Deal, Terminator,
Golden Child's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, Golden Child,
Predator,
that was good. The Predator. I was into Sylvester Stallone.
The Rockies,
the Rambo,
Judge Dredd,
Cobra.
I remember hearing that. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Cobra?
No,
the first scene's great. Just opening of the scenes, kind of. For Cobra,
you ain't like Cobra?
Oh, I like it. Okay. I like it.
Cobra was cool.
Yeah,
Judge Dredd. I seen that years ago. That was fun.
That's 90s. 90s it took a little. In my opinion,
talking about 80s.
Whoops.
90s films took a little bit of a dip compared to the 80s nostalgia to me. I don't know.
It had its place, but the first Terminator.
Yeah.
What technology was, but that was good. My mother actually took me and my brother to go see it.
Real? Wow.
Yeah. And during the sex scene, she just put her arm over
her really?
eyes. Yeah.
Is the first Terminator with the silver guy?
Huh?
With the
no, that's the second
guy?
one. That's the second
okay,
one.
That's my
That's the
favorite
second one.
Terminator.
That's 91.
We
talking about 84.
Okay.
Linda Hamilton was young. Schwarzenegger, Michael Biehn. That was it popped it all off, and it was like one of my favorites and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what else was in the 80s?
I think RoboCop and Die Hard. I think was 80s.
RoboCop, yes, and Die Hard, yes. RoboCop when that came out, my aunt. We used to go to her house. She stayed right next door. So we just hopped the fence. Matter of fact, my uncle cut a hole in the fence for us just to go because we stayed on the same block.
He knows.
We stayed with my grandmother, and then my uncle stayed on the left, my aunt stayed on the right, and she just cut a hole in the fence so we could just go right over. So we go over there, and she had movie night.
Wow.
And that's when we saw RoboCop for the first time.
I remember that first time watching.
Those effects back in those days, that was just incredible.
Man, RoboCop was good. With the series called Shaka Zulu, that was one of my favorites.
Okay.
In the 80s. You need to take this list down because I know you don't know nothing what I'm talking about. But these were good films.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I know.
Warriors. No, Warriors.
That was 70s. Yes. Right? Two of them, honestly, I like. One, I like the music. The other, I just like because of baseball. Platoon and Major League.
Platoon.
Now, Platoon for that was a dark fucking movie, but I definitely like the music. I like the casting. I definitely like the drive of the story, kind of leading from the end. I'm like, okay, that's good. But yeah, Major League, it's funny as fuck. But I do like baseball, so that's another thing too.
Well, that was good. Major League was cool. Get Carl Vaughn.
Right.
Yeah, you get excited when he come out.
Right.
Full Metal Jacket.
Ooh,
my dad took us to see Major League and Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket.
Wow.
Yeah. Full Metal Jacket.
Man,
I've seen Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I got that on
tape. All right.
Yeah.
Woo.
Got that on tape.
I'm not a big horror film, but I used to like horror movies from the 80s, like Waxworks, because that would make my imagination, when you watch a movie, then your imagination, you're thinking about that storyline or that kind of world afterwards. I think that does what Marvel does for Keenan, but you think of that world or whatever. It's kind of neat when
call me out like
that. You can't forget, Friday the 13th. Jason, Freddy Krueger,
Nightmare.
I wasn't into Michael Myers and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
I wasn't into that like that. Freddy and Jason was my
Freddy.
I think Alien was also in there.
Alien, you know what I'm saying? The Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, you seen the Lost? You didn't watch the Lost Boys.
The Goonies.
The Goonies.
I just got I like suspense 80s. Like I'm not I don't do action.
These are all suspenseful.
No, I'm like Richard Gere. You know what I mean? Like
Fatal Attraction, stuff like that.
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
That was good.
Like that.
Okay, the first Jaws, that was 70 or 80.
That was 75.
Yeah,
but then so second and third was kind of 80s.
Yeah, but I watched that one too when I was little.
Yeah,
it was.
And the third one was it was terrible.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you remember in Baden, the movie store, the movie rental place before Blockbuster came out.
Oh yeah.
Anybody from St. Louis know in Baden? Matter of fact, the movie store sat on Broadway, but you have to park in the back and walk through the gangway to get to.
Wow.
And they had all the movies. You don't remember? Yeah. You had the VHS, you had the movie box, and the VHS copy on the back. You rent it out, and we walk out with stacks from mother, and then we watch all these movies.
It's probably like cheap back in the day, too.
I'm so old that I remember they had beta tapes and VHS tapes, and you would have to know the difference. Because one time we accidentally rented a beta tape, and we only had a beta player. Yeah.
I still got a few.
You know, my mom had 8-track.
Really?
She had this Firebird. She had a cassette and 8-track.
Wow.
Yeah, and my grandmother had an 8-track player, and she had 8-tracks.
See, I go to Google's and got like 8-track. I need
you don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just wasn't born.
Basically, okay, so a cassette tape, it was just its own thing, but like an 8-track, basically, you can't rewind it, so it just plays straight through, and then to go back from the beginning, it just goes back, just like that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I know that. I'm like 92, so that's just crazy.
Colors was another one.
Oh,
the movie Colors.
Yeah,
I think I remember that a little bit.
Taps was a good one with and then what's the other one he did? He went like Sean Penn was in prison or whatever it was called, Bad Boys. I think it was called the original Bad Boys. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you had everybody in there.
Yeah, all, when they were really young. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Bad Boys. Yeah, that was a good one. He threw the guy over the over the rail.
Yeah.
To his death. Yeah, that was a good one. The 80s had a lot of content. The Breakfast Club.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
The Natural.
That too. Robert Downey Jr. What he played? Jamie Gertz was in. What's it? Jamie Gertz? He played the Addict.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I had a crush. Who was the woman? Was it Jamie Gertz? In The Facts of Life, the one that played Joe.
God, something Keenan's her last name.
Nancy McKeon.
Yeah, McKeon.
Yeah, I had a crush on her.
Yeah, there's some movie called Poison Ivy that like it's about them going to summer camp or whatever. It's with Michael J. Fox. It's good.
I think one more I know I saw in school like millions. I even got the tape still. Two of them. One I saw in school, the other one I saw on TV. Lean on Me and Glory.
Oh, that's
Lean on Me.
Right before the 90s came in, those two movies were good.
And Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Oh my God, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Old Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder. That was good.
Yeah.
That was funny. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna. You know what I'm talking about. Watch those. Get this interview, rewind it. Get these. I'm telling you, this was a good cinema. This was funny. You know, that was a funny movie. It's a lot of stuff. The Breakfast Club is a classic. You know, everybody know about that one.
Yeah.
You
know, that was a classic.
Weird Science.
Yeah.
Yep. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. You know, those were good. Yeah, man.
Was it Indiana Jones 80s? Like late going 90s?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. 80s.
All right, Keenan, I'm going to put you on the spot here. We're down to end the show. Could you do a little rap about the... You can just talk about 80s stuff now because you talked about 80s in the interview.
Man. Because the way she got it, like...
Well, I know.
I can't top that, though. But
you're not going to be able to top her.
All right. I was going to do something with games. Okay, so something good. All right. Pray for me, y'all. Young but at heart, by keeping nostalgic. We're going from the 80s, gotta keep it so classic. We're talking like Back to the Future, cause I'm walking up like Michael J. Fox, nothing but new futures. Yep, I got my own rims like Jurassic Park, cause I'm coming through like what are those? I got all that heart, like Call of Duty and maybe Platoon. Don't try to shoot me, cause I'm shooting like a goon, like war zones. It's a war path. I got jaws in the back, cause I like to chomp back. I got the clap back, I got all flashbacks. Boy, don't try to mess with me, boy. I'm about to kick your ass back. There you go.
All right. There you go, I ain't got the skills.
So. All right. So you guys can go to unresolved.com. You can get probably tickets through the website, but also if you go look up Bruce on Facebook. But this weekend at the St. Louis Galleria Cinemas all weekend long, and then also on August 31st at MX Movies and Bar. Unresolved, excited for you. Good things are going to happen to you. I know it just by what I saw. So,
yes.
Good luck with your your business. You got to come back. You got to come back.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So it's great having you guys. So I thank you guys for watching. Can anyone do any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out first to guys. Thanks guys for coming up here. Mop Squad Comedy. We're still gonna do our stuff for No Letter Podcast with Tweezy and family. Basically, I'm still doing my YouTube on my own side. Dude Level 92. Check those out. According to my podcast, Kicking It With Ken. We got a few people I want to try to get on. We're definitely gonna try to talk some arrangements and everything else in between. Now, of course, our buddy here, Dustin Diggs, has finally made the AUN website. We got a lot of great things there from the shows, weekend reviews, podcasts. We got all that right here. You become a member. Oh, my God, it's me. You become a member of the Artistunitednetwork Network. Support the local cast and local music around the St. Louis area. We've got a lot going on for you guys, so definitely just keep us in the community.
Well, I was going to pitch the website, but I couldn't do a better job than you, Keenan. So thank you for that. Thank you guys for watching the Daily Dare with Dustin Diggs. We'll see you again tomorrow. Actually, we got a good show tomorrow. Shaylin's here.
Oh, yes, we do. Shaylin Robb, musician of St. Louis. Been to her show. She's definitely going to be on here. I believe it's 7 o'clock or whatever time it is. But yeah, check her out.
All right, thank you guys. We're out.
I'm about to The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. The Daily Dirt with Dustin Diggs. Dig.